All right, everybody. So here we are on game number 1 of 104 versus 1+1 equals pain Division B East matchup, bringing us our first map to Towers of Doom. This was picked by 104, so the first map, this first hero pick, is going to go to 1+1 equals pain. And just to give a little bit of a background, I believe the bans were Volskaya and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Volskaya banned by 104, and Tomb of the Spider Queen banned by 1+1 equals pain. So, and we're going to be going to Towers of Doom and then following up with a Sky Temple. So, for Towers of Doom, one of those maps that like Abathur can be very powerful. A lot of times you want to get that experience lead. This map is definitely a big deal with having the experiences over and the push power versus a lot of the team fighting. You can kind of control the map with the bell towers as long as you can push into that bot lane, control the sapper camps. But 1+1 equals pain. I don't know, I guess doing a little bit of scouting, banning out a Stitches away from 104. Don't want to have to deal with any hooks that might win a game in the late fights. And 104 answers with the Phoenix ban. Typical kind of ban. Very strong as an auto attacker and that backliner being able to get in and out. Something you don't want to deal with. So with these two bans, it's going to leave a lot of options open depending on if the teams want to pick them. I don't know if we're going to see an Azanan ban, very strong on this map, or a Raynor ban, or maybe one of the healers, or any of the healers really. I think a lot of times people like to ban out Stukov, but they're going to go ahead and ban out Deckard. Maybe they answered with a white main ban. Like I said, Aslan's still available. Urel could still be available. But I feel like if you ban Urel at this point, you might limit yourself. So maybe unless you want to take the Blaze or Malthael or something like that, get the double soak. Maybe they ban out Dahaka with some of that global. And if either teams are looking to go into the Abathur. But they do ban out that Raynor, getting two auto attackers out of the way with the Phoenix and the Raynor, so that pretty much leaves Hanzo or Greymane if they want to get some of that auto attack backline, kind of depending on what your comp's looking at. Maybe they do something spicy, maybe with like a Cassia or Medivh or something like that. Where's the webcam? I mean, I'm in the draft lobby, man. But so Pain picking up the Kael'thas first, no prioritization on the Urel. They do have the next two picks, so they are passing the opportunity for Urel to go to 104. Maybe they are opting. Maybe they want them to do that. They're kind of baiting them into it, or maybe they know they don't play Urel and they can get it for free. I mean, Urel does have some counters in lane, but this map is, the Divine Steed is pretty strong. The the ability to lane soak and pressure a lane is always strong and dive for their team. But 104 picks up the Diablo Genji. Diablo, a really strong tank right now, kind of aligned with Murden and Joanna. I would say, honestly, Diablo is probably the top tank, just of his ability to kind of solo hero with either Flame Strike or Apocalypse. Genji, obviously being very annoying. And 1+1 equals pain gets a strong round, picking up the White Man and Urel. That's going to be hard to get into. White Man has the slow and root capabilities to lock down a Genji. Has a lot of... I mean, she has burst healing if she wants to run through her mana. She has a lot of sustain healing if she's playing, if they're playing passive and in a fight. And again, picking up the Urel, it's going to make that solo lane for 104 pretty hard, and especially if she ever joins in on the fight. 104 banning out the Garrosh since they already have the Diablo. Don't want to have that option to get those throws and taunts. I imagine we're probably going to see another ban of a healer from 1+1 equals pain. Try to limit the pool a little bit since they already picked up White Mane, banned out Deckard. Maybe either get rid of Alexstrasza or Stukov. It depends on kind of which ones they're going to focus. I kind of vote Alexstrasza just because of the Diablo, but they do get rid of Stukov. I think it's one of Keys from 104. I think it's one of his one of our favorite supports. I don't know if his win rate this season so far has been favoring that, but I know he likes to play it a lot. So what do they pick up here? They already have a Genji, so that's kind of like their auto attacker. They're probably going to be looking for a mage of some type. There's still Jaina available with the Diablo. Gul'dan is probably less likely. Azanan, like I said before, is still available. They actually pick up Falstad and Malfurion, so not going with the Alexstrasza. Malfurion has pretty good I would say, what do you call, sustain healing with the long drawn out team fights. They got the global with the Falstad, possibly going into the solo lane. They could still pick Malthael or Blaze. Blaze might be the pick from 104. But what tank? I mean, they showed Malfurion. Malfurion is very divey. They already have Yrel that can dive on top of him. Kael'thas sits in the back. So they go with an auto attacker and a mage. They'd pick up the Hanzo and the Muradin, so Muradin can jump in there with the Yrel. Hanzo and Kael'thas are just going to be poking from the sidelines. Now, they're very susceptible to the dive from Diablo and Genji. Like, if Diablo goes the double charge, which is very possible on this map with how the objective is laid out, that he could probably just solo Hanzo and Kael'thas by himself. And honestly, Whitemane to some extent. So let's see, does 104 pick up the Blaze? Do they try to get... I don't think they want Malthael anymore. They pick up Maiev. I like it. So we are going to see Falstad in the solo lane against Yrel, which is pretty okay in my opinion. He's not going to be able to do any type of double soaking if it comes to that, which they do have a very bad comp for soaking from 104. But the Maiev can make some plays here. If they're able to get into that Hanzo or Kael'thas in that backline, I mean, there's a lot of damage that's going to be coming out from them. Diablo flip and throw, roots. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Alright, so we got game number 1 starting to get underway. So what does everybody else think about these two comps? I know we got Portrait Synergy from 1 + 1 = Pain, so that's always good. Egg Rolls, Master Fish, Tempest. And there's pretty good sustained damage and burst damage from 1 + 1 = Pain. They have a lot of self-sustain. Once Kael'thas finishes his quest, he's going to be less divey against the Genji. Hanzo's still going to be pretty susceptible, but I feel like with a Whitemane there on top of a Hanzo all the time, it's going to be hard to actually kill him unless they use everything. It's going to be the playmaker. It's going to be this Maiev and Genji. We're going to have to really watch them. They're two very divey heroes against a kind of non-divey comp. Maybe Muradin's going to have to hang out back a little bit more with the peels. So, I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you guys think has the better comp here with game number 1 on Towers of Doom, which is a big deal? I mean, they have a global. They have the ability to invade on a camp with the Falstad. They have the ability to get that soak like I was mentioning in the early game. But we're just going to go right into the game and introduce these players. So on the left-hand side, the blue team 104, we got Siege on that Falstad, Sheepfu on the Maiev, Danop on the Genji, Key on that Malfurion, and Linkin Park on that Diablo. On the right-hand side, we got 1 + 1 = Pain. The red team, Wumpy on the Kael'thas, Chanman on the Yrel, Egg Rolls on that Hanzo, Tempest on the Muradin, and finished off with Masterfish on that Whitemane. So looking at quick talents, these level 1s, we got obviously the Globe Quest stackings from Muradin. Hanzo's kind of deciding whether he wants to go W build or Q build. I would hope he would pick W build, and that's what he does. Genji, we got that Swift Strike, the dash. We're actually going to see Nayasha's Memento. I think it's kind of interesting with Medivh how we got like this. Nayasha's Memento was like the pick, and then people realized that they weren't getting too much value out of it, so then they went with the Quest talent. And then now it's back to it. Even HGC is back to the Memento pick. So, already got the Yrel in the top lane. Falstad's going to make his way up there. I mean, Yrel does, as long as Falstad can stay at auto attack range from the Yrel, I think he will be able to poke her out, but I mean, not enough to actually scare her because it's just going to be Yrel self-healing. So we'll try to look at that a little bit. At this point, for Siege, you kind of want to actually freeze your lane at these towers. And make sure I pay attention to this mid lane. Yeah, making sure he's not taking any unnecessary damage because he does not have a self-heal until level 7. Or 4, actually. We're actually seeing Diablo kind of move around. We got kind of a rotation between the Maiev and the Genji. Tempest trying to answer with the same. Muradin's by himself, but he has the leap away. Nice stun on the Maiev, so make sure that he's not going to do any pull. Granted, there's no follow-up from him. Once again, getting this rotation in. No teams opting to go for camps quite yet. That is a big deal on this map. Oh, Siege must have taken a lot of damage from this Yrel. Making sure that he stays out of range of the jump, just like that. If he continues that almost killed him. If he got weaved one auto attack in there, Siege probably would have died. Now he's in a weird position because if he hearths and flies back, then he doesn't have the fly available. If he doesn't hearth, he's possible to die. And now he can't even fly to his team to help assist here. Maiev running away a little bit. They're kind of resetting these sappers. Genji's going into the backline onto end rolls. We got Kael'thas is coming down. Genji's pretty low on mana. He's not going to have any more escapes, but it does scare them off of those sapper camps. Diablo might be in trouble. Ends up charging minions, so it's a good play there. Siege somehow full healed. I think Whitemane must... No. How did he full heal? Did he go back? Oh, he used his well. He used his well a while ago. The level 4 is reached for both teams. We got actually does end up going for the Q build on this map, not going for the double trying to clear minions or the boss quickly with the Hanzo with the full W build. Now keep in mind they do kind of have two mages on Tempest side with Kael'thas. I think I would classify Hanzo more of a mage with his abilities in his Q build. So both teams taking their camps. At pretty much the exact same time, we got the bell towers available. Hanzo will have the fly once he is able to cap that, and they're going to trade down here. So Hanzo will be able to help out a little bit faster. But will it make a big difference? I mean, Yrel will get down there fast enough, and they're not going to, unless they get a gank really quick. Like they're pushing out to the Kael'thas, gets the flip out, nice root. They're going to be jumping on top of him. We get the tether. Goes out, and he actually does proc himself. Genji's taking a lot of damage from that Kael'thas and the Hanzo, but Wumfi actually ends up living. Now he's probably gonna... Does he stay here, though? He gets one Maya pull, and he's actually probably gonna be dying. Hanzo's going in, or Genji's going in for that dive in there. Whitemane's slowly starting to heal everybody up. Like, there is more health pools on the side of 104. They look to be beating this out a little bit more. I mean, the Maiev and Genji are just keeping everybody so low that's making them scared, but... Are they going to be able to run? Oh no, Whitemane walked out there too far, and Genji goes for the kill. Is he able to follow up with any more? Gets one stun, has the deflect, gets stunned out of it, taking some extra damage, but unfortunate for that Whitemane, almost gets poked out by that Hanzo W. Whitemane must have either clicked somewhere accidentally, ends up walking, pathing right in front of that wall for Diablo, and that was a quick kill for 104. So, both teams, level 6. 1 bell tower taken to 2, so 4 shots to 8. We're gonna have the quest talent from Maya. We actually don't see that too often. Do we? What does that do? Oh, yeah. Just more damage on the Phantom Knives. Make sure they're getting that burst damage in. I like that. No teams are really missing any soak. Looking at this damage report here from that team fight, it was the Genji at the top with the Hanzo on the other side. The two Shimada brothers doing what they do and being annoying. Diablo's going into that Fire Stomp build, it looks like. With that, we have level 7s picked up, see what everybody takes. Everybody's playing, so far in the between bell tower phases, everybody's playing pretty passive. I like the rotation from Key there, making sure he stays safe. Knowing that they don't see anybody on the map. Both Falstad and Yrel making sure that nobody's taking that top camp. We do have Bribe from... I didn't notice that before, but Falstad does have Bribe. Let's look at his stacks. He's at 2 stacks right now. Both teams, once again, opting to get their sappers right away. No, I don't think either sapper made it to a bell tower. Oh, I think 1 sapper from each team made it to a bell tower. Or to a fort wall. But... Kael'thas staying bottom right now. Do they capitalize on the fact that Kael'thas is down, taking too long, and try to invade here? I don't think they get enough delay, which not quite. They barely get it off, and Genji might be in trouble. Tez has a dive over. So now all they have to do is just stop them from interrupting Key, and we're good to go. Kael'thas getting quite far out, gets the gravity lapse on Shifu, but actually gets body blocked from the Diablo, but still manages to walk away. And... a lot of action for no kills. Looking down here, 1 sapper down. They're going to look to push this back out. But overall, both teams, I mean, they're both kind of... They haven't really gained any advantages. Experiences are exactly the same. Not really prioritizing that bot lane at all. Falstad's looking like he's probably going to have a tough time against Yrel, but again, it's kind of nobody's really gaining anything. Nobody's losing anything. So both teams kind of just making sure that they're not pressing the advantage or losing the advantage where they don't need to. Wait, that Hanzo scatter arrow went all in that little corner. Looking at this stats, since we do have these questing talents. Kael'thas sitting at 13. Murden's at 10. Getting a little bit of pressure onto the Malfurion, but ends up not following up with it because of the tether. Sheepfu spreading that chain bomb right next to Key. Does a lot of extra damage. He ends up tapping. Probably with how passive this group is, he probably could have hearthed right there and not lost any value. But that's hard to see right at the moment. Now they will not have a pre-tap available from him. Hanzo sticking pretty far out there. Level 10s just hit for Pain. We got the Avatar, the Scarlet Aegis, it's called Dragon's Arrow. Ardent Defender, and Pyroblast, actually. That's interesting. There is no Ice Block from Malfurion, and if he does it after Genji picks his Deflect and then Pyroblast, that actually would be a dead Genji. So it's pretty risky, but I like it. I mean, it's not too much of a zone control. We got one stun from the Diablo after the follow-up. We got Dragon Arrow hitting onto the Diablo, not the target he's probably looking for. Maev immediately finishes her quest. That's a lot of extra damage on that Phantom Knives. Hanzo finishes up his W quest as well. There goes Apocalypse, looking onto that Y-Main. Once again, kind of out of position, putting out the Scarlet Aegis, but gets silenced from the Pyroblast, ends up not killing Key, and Maev is actually the one to down. The ultimate from Whitemane, keeping her team alive between all of that damage. There was a massive silence and X-Strike and everything, and look at everybody's health pool. They just barely got away from that and able to trade a kill, evening up these tower shots. So looking at the damage from that team fight, Hanzo's getting a lot of poke in there. And same with Genji. But you saw that team fight, so, I mean, Kael'thas started up with that Pyroblast pretty early, scared off the Malfurion because he's not going to have anything to do about it. He has no burst heals. Maev can jump it, and Diablo's obviously not the best target. So I like the pick there. That was a good team fight. And they're actually going to get some extra soak up top lane. Falstad is flying. So only missing 2 minions, so not bad. Looking at his stacks, he has used stacks once. I don't know when. I'm quite surprised that neither team is really prioritizing this bot lane until now, where they're just finally kind of pushing in these sappers. This is probably the most important lane. Quest finish for Kael'thas, so he's going to be much harder to kill. Got Falstad taking a lot of damage. He did a decent amount of damage against the Yrel. He does have the auto attack heal. Like checking the bushes. Tempest trying to make sure they have the aggressive rotation because they feel like they are in the lead right now, which I believe they should be. One jump away from Dan Fop. Actually breaking out the Dragon's Arrow. Not going to be able to follow it up on because he was by himself. So that means Dragon's Arrow is not going to be available for another 60 seconds with this tower coming up in 15. That gives the ultimate cooldowns in the favor of 104. Is that going to hinder 1+1's team fighting ability? So we got this team fight. Yrel's gonna to pick the mid shrine before it comes in. There's enough delay from his team from Pain that she's not worried about it. Looking at for that Whitemane, not quite able to get to it enough. She still has her ultimate. Dragon's Arrow's up in 30, and here comes Yrel, gonna start causing some disruption. Genji getting a bunch of damage in that backline, forces out the Aegis from the Whitemane, bringing out Apoc, only hitting one member. Warden's Cage trying to bring everybody back in. Again, this Pyroblast is it enough? It is enough to kill Malfurion. That was like from a half health Pyroblast. And that's probably what they're going to be looking to do every single time, especially since Malfurion took that Tranquility. As soon as it steps up, Kael'thas, if he sits in the back, that's a dead Malfurion every time. And I expect that's pretty much how these teamfights are going to go for the most part, unless they get a quick kill on like a Whitemane or a Kael'thas really early, or a Hanzo. Then if they try to step up, that Pyroblast is looking to finish them off. Murden's looking for those stacks. Yrel regulated back to the top lane. I'd like to see, they have the Maev Genji. I'd like to see 104 being a little bit more aggressive here with their rotations on those two. Genji Tanop almost dying to the Hanzo and Murden. They're looking for it. They're kind of positioned for it. We're just leaving Key out here to soak up this lane. Falstad versus Jarell up top is being a pretty boring lane. We got no DPS here available. They're scouting him out. Egg rolls, losing that vision control. Diablo now exposes himself in that mid lane. Look at the damage. Hanzo is just, he's slowly creeping up to get the full control of this map of the damage. Now, once again, both teams taking their camps. We got 5 man down here. Are they going to punish this Diablo for it? They have Urel. She's going to be able to knock back away. One root coming out of the white man. Dragon Hour is coming out. Linkin Park is surely to die for that, and that resets his souls. Genji might be in trouble now since he, there's the one stuff. If one stun comes out, using the X-Strike to get away. Diablo will be able to come back. They're not opting to use the Falstad fly here. More sappers are going to be able to push into this. Now, they're probably going to hold the fly until Urel shows up top. And then they're going to try to fight bottom now that they have Diablo once again. Looking to re-engage. They don't see Urel on the map yet. Falstad taking the bribe. He's going to end up taking his bell tower. Urel's taking bell tower for Pain. They have the interrupt. We got... Oh, did not end up using that shade to teleport to bring into the Hanzo. We're going to look for this kind of damage. Another root from Masterfish. Good job. Oh, we're going to see that Power Blast is available. They're going to be looking right into the Maev looking for the tether onto Masterfish. Not quite getting in. Linkin Park taking a lot of pokes. Same with Sheepfu. There's just so much poke from this team. Genji finally getting some pressure going on. Eggroll's missing that Scarlet Aegis. Genji's looking for it. Maev dies on the other side. Linkin Park is not looking too strong. Genji's able to get away. Maev look big. Flame Strikes hitting 2 members for 1+1 = Pain. And securing another kill. Power Blast did go out, but I missed it in that team fight. I'm sure you guys did not. So once again, another team fight going over to Pain with that bell tower control. It looks like they might be positioning to take boss with their level 16s. 2 members down. Diablo's not going to be available for a while. Same with... Okay, so they walked all the way up here and decided not to. They said maybe the death timers are too short. Even though they had 16s. There was Gust available from 104, so maybe that was the right call. It's unfortunate because it did waste a lot of their time. They could have pushed out a bot lane or something. Tough to make that call on the fly. Team probably convinced Pain otherwise. Whoever's the shot caller, which I think is Tempest. But now they're opting. They see 4-man mid. We're going to see Tempest hopefully do some delay here. I like it since he has the most ability to jump away. Maev took so much damage from that Hanzo. Falstad's positioning to fly. We got the fly coming in. He's looking for it. Is he going to try to dove over and get the Gust? Oh, it doesn't. Ends up not doing. They have the 4v5 here. I honestly think they should look for the Gust. Big Flame Strikes hitting the other team. Key is already really hurt in the backline. Looking for that Wimpy. Scarlet Aegis coming out. Being able to save a lot of damage from that Genji. I mean, Genji is having such a tough time against Wimpy. Oh, another big Flame Strike with the Dragon Arrow follow-up. Murden is... I don't even know how Murden got that kill. Did he get that with the Stormbolt? Finishing his quest is going to finish up a second kill. Looking for that Diablo. And that's going to be kill number 3. Right before the bell tower spawn. And I would like to see 1+1 = Pain push into this fort. Make sure this goes down before they cap this bell tower. Looks like they're looking for it. One person has one idea. Masterfish is going to stay back and hold off the cap. I like it. Now this is the fun part. This is where you hold the bot lane and you just try to secure bot lane completely. They have a big shot lead. Able to do as much as they want. Maev trying to dodge as much damage as she can. Not quite. So, Falstad using that bribe. How many stacks is he up to? I guess it doesn't tell me. Level 16s reach for both teams. Oh, we got the rotation coming out. There's Falstad. There's going to be a 5v5 here. Another team fight. Make sure they defend this. Big root on the Diablo. Dragon Arrow coming out on just Diablo. We got Power Blast once again onto Key. Soaking up so much damage. Diablo ends up dying during that. Nice combo from Mufi on top of the Falstad. And securing that Flame Strike when he walks away. And that's a 3 kill for nothing once again. Looking for that root. Got a little greedy. He's just taking... He just can't do anything against this Kael'thas. Like, just the Malfurion heals are just not enough anymore. They're just trying to make sure that they stop. Wait, how did that stun not hit him? But they get that Sapper anyways. and that gives them 4 shots left on the core. They're just going to look for boss. I like it. There's going to be Gust available, but I think they might take it fast enough anyways that Gust might not be a play. 5 seconds. We're probably Genji's going to scout this out. I mean, it's the only thing they can do. They have to fight this. They're going to delay it enough. Pain ends up giving it up once again, knowing fearful of that Gust possibility. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to lose the lead. They know they can trade. So they have a forced team fight here where they can just delay as much as possible, allow somebody else to sit in the back line. There's going to be so much poke coming out here. They're going to be aggressive. They don't have Falstad. He's coming in for the fly. Got in the safe fly. Diablo is actually going to die right away from that Hanzo scatter arrow. Oh man, that's not looking good. Maev trying to get a tether on them. Ends up dying as well. Big flame strikes with a scatter arrow. White main popping out that. It just comes down some scatter shot and immediately just gets shot to death. So the damage coming out from 1+1 equals pain was just too much for 104. And that secures that. Wait, why did it didn't teleport me to the core? So that's going to give game number 1 over to 1+1 equals pain. And maybe that's where the name comes from. 1+1, 2 games. We usually do a 2-game series. But looking at these stats here, we got top healing. Malfurion did beat White Man on healing, but ended up dying a lot more. Top damage solely in control of 1+1 equals pain. Genji just wasn't able to get in there as much. Neither was the Falstad. So, I mean, it was very even up until like level 10s, and then all of a sudden, Pain just started like demolishing the team fights. Like they weren't even close after that, and it was just tough for 104 to really come back from that. But we're going to take a really short break as I get set up with the next lobby. So stay out. Be right back. All right, guys. Getting the lobby set up here very shortly. I think both teams are almost ready, so we're going to be moving very quickly into game number 2, bringing us to Sky Temple, picked by 1+1 equals pain. Last map, the Towers of Doom game, was picked by 104, so it's a good start for 1+1 equals pain already winning the map that they did not pick. I mean, no webcam. On the right channel, man. On the right screen. Scene. Alright, let's see if teams are ready. Not too many people in chat tonight, a little unfortunate. Hopefully we can get everybody excited, the people that are showing up. Relegated. Alright, so both teams are ready, so let's move into game number 2. I have to remind myself, switch to the in-game scene when we start this round, because I feel like every time I always mess up the second game, so remind myself. Alright, Sky Temple, another big global map where we know that the objectives are going to be in a specific location. Abathur, once again, pretty good on this map. Doesn't look like either team really want to play it, since it was not picked or shown anywhere in Towers of Doom. Azadan still pretty good. So if we're going to see a Phoenix ban maybe out of 104 once again. Are they scared of the Kael'thas though? Kael'thas was doing a lot of damage to him. Regulated. Oh. Relegated, regulated. Eh. I'm gonna say that on the slurring. I'm saying the right thing. But, so they're banning out the white main, knowing that the ultimate heals from her were enough to save a lot of the enemy team. Make sure they don't have to deal with that again if they want to use their dive with that Genji Maiev. And I mean, honestly, that ultimate that Aegis from white main did save white main herself quite a few times. Pain opting to get rid of that Dahaka. Maybe that shows that they want to go Abathur. This is their map pick. Getting rid of one of those globals. 104 has already shown that they'll pick Falstad as a global. But Falstad, if you're a team that's playing into a Falstad, it's honestly probably one of the better options versus the other globals. I would almost, you know, if I was looking for a global, I'd actually pick ETC over Falstad. Banning out the Garrosh once again. Oh no, I think, did they ban Garrosh? I think they did. Yeah, because they picked, I don't know. I think they banned off Garrosh second round. So leaving up Kael'thas, leaving up Genji, leaving up Yrel, Azmodan, Raynor, Phoenix. There's a lot of good people in this game. This is gonna be a spicy game. Pain not quite knowing what they want to ban out. Banning out the Hanzo. They picked it up last time. They know they don't have first pick. Maybe they don't think he's worth a first round pick on this map. There's a lot of mercs available for him to take. Very quick bosses if he wants to take it. Although it's very hard to sneak the boss on this map. I've seen it done before, but it's hard. Alright, so first pick. Picking up the Kayn. I think that's probably the most optimal pick. I think last map, the white main... No, the Kael'thas was picked first and then into a white main and Yrel. So they only have 2 picks here before 4 heroes go off the table. Or at least off the table for Pain. Do they go with the Kael'thas once again? Do they show the Yrel? They do pick Yrel. And Genji this time, so they are going for the Genji. Does 104 pick the Kael'thas? It worked out for the other team. I think Kael'thas does pretty well into Genji once you have the Globe Quest. As long as you don't get dove on super hard with like stun locks and you're able to pop your trait, get that shield, get away from a lot of the Genji burst. Living Bomb makes it pretty annoying for Genji to really stay and fight. Okay, so 104 picking up the Abathur and the Greymane, so getting that clone copy. I think that's a pretty good showing already. I mean, they have a lot of options for the clone copy, but since there's already a Greymane on the other side, maybe they're expecting that. Cast my Hero League. It'd be a little hard to observe that, but since there's a Genji showed on the other side, Greymane does good into Genji just because if Genji shows himself, Greymane's just like, I'm just going to go into a wolf form and just force you to use deflect and then jump out of the fight. Blaze actually being banned out from Pain, which I imagine, oh, I guess they already have Urel, so they can't pick it up. So yeah, since they're already having a Urel, they want to get rid of the other options for a solo laner for 104. So what are they gonna ban out a tank? They don't have the next 2 picks, so there's gonna be a tank picked by Pain first. They do ban out Murden, so this leaves Diablo available. Joanna against the Greymane is never a bad pick. So far, since they are showing Abathur, ETC is showing a lot more valuable. I think it's probably still gonna be Joanna. Honestly, Joanna is just all around good. ETC's biggest weaknesses are poke, and since there's a Greymane, there's pretty much no poke. And if there's a Greymane, ooh, Arthas. So that's been an old time counter to Greymane. Well, not old time, but something you haven't seen too often because of the meta. But man, Greymane does not have a good time against Arthas. If basically means that Greymane cannot jump on Arthas at any point, and now he's only looking at jumping on Raynor. Genji has an escape. Urel has kind of an escape and a knockback, or the healer, I guess, at that point. That's a pretty good pick. It's only a Raynor dive. Oh, it's only a Greymane dive with a clone, so that's okay. Ooh, even better, a Zeratul. So that makes Raynor way more killable. Get in that backline, they'll have VP. They probably actually won't go VP at all, honestly. They'll probably... I would like to see the Zeratul go Might of the Nerazim for that extra burst potential. Genji can usually do pretty okay against Zeratul. That's really a skill matchup. Or if they ever see each other in off lane. Picking up that Stukov. Interesting on the Stukov that is susceptible to Zeratul dive a lot more since he's standing still, and he has to pop his trait to really heal himself at all, and then that makes the rest of his team vulnerable. So, but that's 2 big clone targets for the Abathur. Going on top of the Zeratul for any ganks, and wave clear, the Greymane for the clone target, or Zeratul for the clone target. I like it. I mean, this will really come down to a lot of macro play from 104 and how much Arthas is able to keep Greymane at bay. So Arthas looking to have him sit on top of that Greymane all the time, and hopefully their team does not die to any clones. So, game number 2, Sky Temple. What do you guys think about these team comps? Macro play, I like 104. I like the Abathur and Zeratul. I feel like that's something that a lot of teams don't play too often, and it's very strong. Using Zeratul as kind of that off lane soaker and burst, because if Zeratul's not there and he clears the lane pretty quick, and if he's not there, then Abathur will just soak up the lane with his body. But that still gives them really fast rotations to try to get ganks or any type of Merc camps, even though they have Greymane for the Merc camp. We could see, 1+1 = Pan could invade on bottom Giants. I mean, if they see Zeratul top lane at any point, they could probably just run in there, because it's only an Abathur at. But we'll see how this game goes out. On the left-hand side, the blue team 104. We got Key on that Decker Kane, Linkin Park on that Joanna, Siege on the Abathur, Danup on the Greymane, and Sheepfu on the Zeratul. On the right-hand side, 1+1 = Pain, Masterfish on the Stukov, Tempest on that Arthas, Egg Rolls on the Genji, Wumpy on the Raynor, and Chanman once again on the Urel. Looking at this quest, we got the questing talent from Arthas. Joanna kind of deciding what talent she wants to take. Locus or Abathur. I remember there's a little bit better early game from 1+1 = Pain. Oh, changing the game. God dang it. I got it. Not too far into it yet. Nice use of the Lurking Arm from Masterfish to make sure that they are zoned out and want to run away, or don't have a clear escape. So, a little scuffle, but nobody really hurting from that. The Joanna pick into the Raynor is going to make it a little bit better for his team, having the blinds available when Inspire is up. Like I said, Zeratul down here. We got Urel trying to get some... Abathur doing that top soak with the body. He actually does not want to clear that top lane too often, because he wants to make sure that his body's getting soaked. But we got a root onto the Greymane. he probably wanted to go. Luckily, the rest of his Rainer was shooting on that Linkin Park. If Woonfie was on that Greymane, probably would have been called out for it. But then he goes down because of that. Woonfie finally changing targets. Ended up not having the Zeratul for it. We're gonna have the Abathur soak. I like the ability to see the hat on the minimap, so that way you can know when he's soaking or not. At least for caster wise, it's good to know. So this time 1+1 for Eagle Spain going to their Giants rather quickly, since they had the advantage already. The good use of it, it allows them more capabilities to invade 104's camp with their lead, with their current lead. Greymane showing this is seen by Pain. Tempest makes itself known, so Danop knows that they're there. They know that they're looking at it. Does 104 keep completing it? Everybody knows they're here. They have Abathur available. Zeratul is doing some damage, taking a lot of damage from Genji. Genji is looking for that kill. Deckard is able to keep him alive, and they end up 104 taking the camp. They're going to be looking for this Genji. They've used all of the mobility ability stuff, but he ends up walking away. Abathur able to get that top soak. This is going to be a tough fight. This is always a tough, it's a really weird early game when you have an Abathur of the rest of your team, whether they become too aggressive. My team just failed to execute a proper Abathur comp last night. But we got a rotation here from Genji and Rainer coming from the flank on the backside. Might as well keep shooting the Johanna. Johanna's going to have the Unstoppable available. Greymane taking a lot of damage. Not able to roll away yet. Now we get the first Shrine phase. So this is where 104 is probably going to look to fight Pain at all costs. Let Abathur soak bot lane. If they ever see somebody bot, then they just fight it right away. Genji right now staying bot. We don't want Greymane to stay bot either, but he's looking for that kill on egg rolls. One deflect going out. Make sure he doesn't die. Right now, they're giving both Shrines to Pain. So, I mean, they're just going to capitalize out on this completely. Rainer is actually doing the body soaking. Taking a good amount of damage. Zeratul's looking for that fight. Like I said, they have Abathur hat here. They have Abathur be able to dodge soak bottom. They're going to give up the top Shrine. Make sure they take middle. All in all, a better trade for Pain because it did take a little bit longer for 104 to get that rotation up. Rainer gets condemned into 3 of those mines. Took a lot of damage. Level 7's not quite reached yet for either teams. We got Urel coming in. Are they able to hold all the shots? They lose control of the Shrine for a little bit for those last couple shots. This is a 5v4 right now with, 5v4.5 with an Abathur hat. Linkin Park's got the trait available. It gets knocked out really quick by Tempest. Tempest gets away with no health. Feels good for Pain. Not quite reached for level 7s. Abathur's able to get that top soak. This is so a long fight like that will help 104 more. So Tempest is going to be looking to either get it over quickly or back off and soak all somewhere else. Now, when do they take the Knights camps? They are rotating to the Knights right now. Make sure they can get that pushed. Available level 7s reach for both teams. Got that Icebound Fortitude, making sure that he can take some reduced damage. Unstable Compound to get the AoE slows, even though he already has Arthas with him. Oh yeah, he has Arthas with the Rainer. Man, Rainer's going to be doing a lot of damage. Let's look at this damage. Rainer's at 10. Greymane's at 11. Once he gets into that wolf form. Egg rolls just being a pest here, as Genji's are. We got this kind of the swap in lanes, having Urel bot lanes. So that way allows the 3-man to push with the Knights. I like that call a lot. It gets use of the Knights. A lot of teams will end up just, kind of foregoing the camp after they take it. I don't think they're going to be able to get the fort here now that the counter Knights are here. From Shifu taking a lot of damage. Maybe they still go for it, especially that Linkin Park death. That, feels bad, man. Linkin Park death. Going on to that 1v. No, they didn't stay. One more auto attack from Shifu, and he probably would have gotten that kill. Feels bad. But that's going to give the top fort and the first structure over to Pain, netting them a level lead now. Next Temple Shrine is going to be in 15 seconds, so level 10s are not going to be available for either team. So this still gives an even playing field for 104. Got everybody kind of doing their PvE thing. Going to be opting to get their giants pushing at the same time as this temple. We got half a level until 10s from Pain, so 104 is going to should be looking to be pretty aggressive. Although I guess they can't really be too aggressive. Joanna's off by herself though. She's going to be blocked off. The rest of his team gave up. This Unstoppable is going to be blocked out, and he's probably going to get rooted by the Arthas. Ended up not following up since they had Raynor on the point. I feel like they probably could have gotten either a lot of kills there or nothing, and just snowballed a little bit more. Level 10's reached. Looking at these talent tiers, quickly picked up by everybody from Pain, and now 104 definitely has to give up the shrine. Using Zeratul and the Avatar to soak up the rest of the lanes. Greymane doesn't want to get caught out here. This is one of those situations where you're like, do we just straight up push? And you don't have the Greymane, which is your strongest push power. I would have really liked this call because there's nothing that Greymane can do here. Yes, just do a counter push somewhere else since they don't have 10s. Make sure that they can get 10s. They do lose a fort and they will stay a level lead down. But this rotation, they don't have 10s yet. They still don't have 10s. Oh, do they get caught out? No, the Stukov gets dismounted. Everybody's kind of running top lane to the safe way. They need Abathur to get this level 10. There it is. Mule going down. We do actually see the Void Prison. I guess at this point it's probably just going to split the team. Make sure they use that clone and then get the healer or Yrel out of the fight. Oh, we get one pause. So I guess we'll just switch to this real quick. Make sure they're not using any... Don't know why. Make sure that they're not taking too long and looking at where everybody is. So looking at the damage done right now, we got Greymane at 13,000, Raynor at 12,000. Even with that constant slows from the Arthas, Genji's at 9, Zeratul's at 8.5. Genji's actually at 9.8. Looking at the heals, Stukov's at 25. Deckard's only at 13. So, how's everybody doing while we get this pause situated? My dog is probably like right outside my door waiting to come in. But this game's going to need to be finished up here pretty soon. Okay, one team's ready. I got another game right after this, another cast right after this Division A game. Wait for everybody to get ready. Okay. So, one team is ready, one team is not. Okay, both teams ready. Alright, so back into it. I remember to switch scenes. Good day so far. Look at this. Zeratul, and I was about to say there was Curse Bullet going onto that Arthas, but he's able to get away with that Icebound Fortitude and the heals from Stukov, and gets the counter kill on the Greymane. Egg Rolls cleaning sweep here with that Genji. And ends up getting 2 kills right at the end of that team fight there. And they're going to quickly rotate to this boss. Not much that 104 is going to be able to do about it. And the bot fort is already down because of that control on that bottom temple. Everybody kind of running into the boss stun. And they already have giants pushing. They might be able to take a keep, or at least a keep wall. 100% they take a keep wall. Almost going to get level 13s. Still a full level lead, almost a level and a half lead for Pain. First bullet going out, kind of for no reason. Not ended up hitting anybody. Egg rolls or sheep food in that backline, looking for that void prison. Opting to Wumpy, I mean, by himself. I guess he could have just taken some free damage, but I guess the rest of his team wouldn't have been able to follow up on it. Ooh, too bad they didn't kill that Banshee. Alright, so boss does only get the keep wall. Still, structure damage is structure damage. They have Yrel already on the top lane because of that fast mount speed. And getting double Shrine right now. Level 13's reach. They know this is a 5v4. They have Clone available. They have all ultimates available. We're probably going to want to see Pain escape right away. This is the time to get the Void Prison. There goes one. Looking onto the engagement onto the Arthas and the Raynor, but not able to get either of them yet. They're finally killing Raynor. Clone coming out onto the Zeratul? Yes. Genji now has used both of his escape abilities. So 1 kill and the rest of the temple for the trade of the top temple. Yeah, I think Mika's outside my door probably. Alright, so there was at least a winning trade at some point for 1-on-4, so they are able to stay back in there a little bit. We have their 1-on-4's got the mule available, so they are able to mule up a lot of these buildings, slow down this push from them. It is keeping them in their game a little bit longer. 1+1 = Pain, rotating to their knights with the trade of the giants in the bot lane. We're probably going to see Yrel rotate to clear these giants while the rest of their team pushes with these knights. Mic or Riot? I don't have a mic. Does this get scattered out? They still have talent tier. There's no evolution from Linkin Park's got enough everybody rotating in. It's going to push off Key and Denop 1-on-4. This is actually going to give them double knights. No ultimates are being used. Level 13 is not available for 104. And they're just going to passively give this off. This is a double knight push. They might, again, no keep wall this time. They might keep continuously push this. They're going to lose the bottom fort for it, which is going to give 104 level 13s, but it might take too long. No, they'll get it right here. So looking at those level 13s, Arth is still looking to finish up the quest. Yrel diving in. VP on that back line. We've got Stay a While listening to stop the rest of them, but even during that Stay a While, Zeratul ends up dying. Now Clone going out into that Grey Mane. Getting the counter kill onto the Stukov. One healer for one. Gonna lose out that clone damage. Linkin Park still trying to do it. Now they're still in this double knight spell armor, so that's keeping them alive pretty far. That root going on to Grey Mane. Gonna probably secure another kill. Third kill. Oh, they were looking for it. They finally get it with the Yrel. Raynor gets rooted, but luckily that little Banshee soaks up tower shots. Do they go core here? No. Okay, Zeratul's already back up. They have double objective available now. During that team fight was level 16 reached by Pain. All pretty typical stuff. Oh, we actually have Lurking on Persist after 1.5 seconds. Not going for the root talent. Okay, that biotic armor against that Grey Mane. And Zeratul, honestly. Zeratul doesn't do too much auto attack damage. But looking at the teamfight damage from these last couple teamfights, we got pretty close with Grey Mane and Raynor. Might be getting a little bit of a teamfight. Zeratul's rotating very safely, sitting in the bot lane, so this is a 3v5. Guess he's kind of deciding whether they want to give it up and go for the giants. Does it get spotted by Pain? They are rotating down, so they're not giving this up for free. Leaving Yrel on the point. Not allowing 104, smartly not allowing 104 to take any type of different advantages. Alright, so what does Pain do with this talent tier advantage? They have 3 levels on them. They still have 16s. Linkin Park is pretty far out. Nobody scouted that bush at all. And he's just going to end up walking away. Using that trait. They're kind of just, you know, they kind of have to opt to give them everything they want. Unless they can catch Pain on a poor rotation somewhere with somebody going off on their own. But Pain's not giving them that opportunity. Once again, double Merc pressure on bot. Zeratul's trying to get some soak. Linkin Park's gotten everything in these bushes. I was so tired for some reason. Joanna's trying to delay as much as possible. What are the stacks for Tempest? Still about 4 things away from his stacking. Zeratul in the top lane up here. Curse Bullet going out and missing. They're jumping onto Shifu knowing both stuns are out. Nice root from Tempest all over across the walls. Too bad Joanna stunned the back of his team. We got this clone coming out, but the clone immediately dying since he does not have the wormhole ability to be able to get in and out. And they're just gonna go back to pushing with this double giants. Try to get another keep for free. They still have a level 16 advantage. There's no clone available now. Shifu, he's in trouble. I think that was his blink. Linkin Park's in trouble in the backline. And with the one root from the Arthas, doesn't look like they're going to be able to secure that kill. Pushing into another keep. They still have 4 giants pushing onto the bot keep. So that was Void Prison down. Only have Stay a While and Listen Up. And they're still looking to kind of push in here. I feel like they have the level 16s. Trying to make something work. But that's essentially 2 free keeps down to down by push versus the not using and don't need the objective. That means the objective is actually going to start doing core damage if they get both of them here. 104 opting to make a play for boss. I don't know if they. I think the objective wins the game. Yeah, they're just gonna go for core. Smartly, they're just gonna leave Yrel on the point for a little bit just to get some extra shots on that free shots on the core damage. They're showing on the core now. Do we see the full man back? We are gonna have a full back here. We don't have Void Prison to even delay. Yeah, the objective just wins the game. They honestly didn't even need to go core here, but that's just secures the win even more. Yrel can just run top lane, but that's gonna be game number 2 for 1+1 = Pain. Good use of their macro abilities on that map. So with that, we're probably going to try to get a quick interview from 1+1 = Pain. Greymane actually ended up being top damage that fight, or that game. Got heals for Stukov and tanks from Tempest. So let's try to get Tempest in here for quickly. And if there's a lobby available. Find the guy. Oh, he whispered me because he found me faster. So we're just gonna do a quick interview here. See who we get into the channel. Probably update the scores, so that way if we're looking at the screen, people will know. Alright, so here we got Tempest, the captain of 1+1 = Pain, fresh off a pretty quick win here, 2-0 victory. How's he feeling? Oh, can you talk?
Just feeling alright.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, we got the comps that we wanted and we just played around them well.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys didn't really have any problems with either of the comps. Picking up I do want to question but get your insight on your first game, the first pick of Kael'thas with all of the options that were available for you. What brings you to prioritize that Kael'thas there over, let's say, a Yrel or anybody else that you picked on that game?
From what I'd seen, Shees had only played Raider and Kael'thas, so we wanted to Kael'thas early. Force him onto a different hero. I mean, he's only played 2 games, so I wasn't sure if how much of that was actually like valuable, but we thought it was a pick that would be more of a counter to them, or like try to see him on a different hero because he'd seen really good success on Kael'thas and Raynor.
Oh, yeah, smart. Doing some scouting. I mean, getting some, it's always valuable, even though if it had limited resources on the amount of games played. I mean, it worked out for you. I mean, especially picking the Power Blast, which I thought was great, into the comp that they had, especially since Malf no longer had Ice Block.
Ice Block.
I know.
Ice used to beat Fire, but not anymore.
Not anymore. Was that kind of like an immediate reaction that was like, was your Kael'thas player going, oh my god, this is going to be great, or something?
Well, I mean, we didn't think Phoenix would get much action because they were a very mobile composition, so they could easily disengage if they forced out our Phoenix. So we rather thought we take the higher risk, higher reward value from the Pyro.
Yeah, and it worked out for it. I think every time Power Blast went out, I think it was pretty much on Malfurion, and he either died or got down to 1 health and died shortly after. So moving into game number 2, picking up, obviously I think you guys have a pretty high priority on your Yrel, as most teams do. But then this game you were able to take out the Genji. Now, was that more of a response saying, "Hey, you guys played Genji game 1. We're going to show you how it's really played," or anything to deal with the Abathur?
I mean, they picked Abathur as a
I
response to the Euro Genji, but
I guess that's true. I forgot that. Yep.
I mean, we think like there's a reason Genji's one of the most OP heroes in HEC, and it's because he still brings a ton of value just with his high mobility and his ability to just pretty much snowball a team. So we value him in that aspect as well the other teams will, and I mean we have a good player for that, so that's what makes it work.
Were you guys worried about the Abathur pick at all? Did that change any of your game plan once it was picked in the 2-3?
It changed our shot calling a little just to make sure that Mule wouldn't get value. So whenever we damaged a fort, we had to prioritize finishing it off so that he couldn't just heal it back to full. But in terms of draft, it was the Gray main that made us swap our draft a little bit more. You saw the Arthas pick because just like game 1, we were just like waiting for them to engage, or I can land a lucky root. Those were our two engage. Those were the two ways to start a team fight. And if whether they cloned Zeratul or Greymane, I thought or Zeratul wasn't there yet, but if they cloned Greymane, we thought the Arthas would get a lot of value. And whether they would clone Greymane or Zeratul, it would still get good value.
Yeah, I think I was applauding you guys in draft for the Arthas pick a bunch because it's kind of one of those known soft but almost hard counters to Greymane. It makes it to the point where if Greymane goes in wolf form, he becomes utterly useless. So I definitely applaud.
Main Arthas was not one of the heroes I wanted to.
Yeah, it was. I really applauded you guys for picking up that Arthas, or at least for thinking about it. A lot of teams don't even think about him anymore as even existing in the game, just over the Diablos and the Joannas and the Murdens and all that stuff.
It's a shame. It's because I mean, as a tank, he doesn't bring the easiest to engage. You're landing a really hard to land route. And as an offlaner, he gets outshined in terms of wave clear and sustain by like Uro and Blaze. But he still has a niche, I think, as like the anti-auto attack hero.
Yep, and it worked out for you guys to great success in that game number 2. So bringing you guys to the 2-0 victory, nice and easy for you. So do you guys have any? I believe I'm not going to get into any of the drama that happened with NGS, but have you guys looked into the schedule for next week at all?
I haven't checked that, but I know I'm playing you tomorrow. So
I was gonna bring that up next. I was like, so I know I'm casting this game tomorrow, or casting this game with you guys tonight, and then we're playing tomorrow. So better bring the A game.
Yep.
So do you guys have any shout outs that you want to give out?
Shout outs to everyone watching. Shout outs to Chan Man's girlfriend for keeping him sane, and shout outs to Egg Rolls and maybe both have exams tomorrow that we're delaying studying for. So
oof, ouch.
Hopefully we don't do that poorly.
Yeah. All right, well then if that's gonna be it for you, then congratulations on the 2-0 victory, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hopefully the hurricane doesn't affect your plans. If you need to delay for that, also like that's completely fine. Totally understand.
Yeah,
my family's in North Carolina, so I understand the situation there.
Yeah, North Carolina's getting a lot more. I know this hurricane's getting ridiculous. We're in constant talks about it with my team, so we'll definitely keep you updated.
I would totally understand if you can't do it.
I appreciate it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So that's gonna be it for game number 2, or for this series, the 2-0 victory going over to 1 + 1 = pain. So if you stick around for a little bit, we're obviously gonna have like a 25-minute break. I do have another cast right after this at 10:30, Division A game of Subject to Change versus Team Showboat. So you can stick around for that. I'll probably be bringing Mika back into the room so we can have Mika Cam on the bed at least. And see you guys next time.